Hello paper crafters, I'm Sunny Sky and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. And this week's card is featuring a retiring stamp set and Framelits dies, as well as a technique that I showed you in last week's video. So if you want to see how we created this paper here, you're going to go back to video 69, and then we're going to use a finished piece from that for today's card. I don't always remember to decorate the inside of the card, but in this week's card I did, so I'll show you the inside as well. Here are all the cardstock sizes that you need for this week's card, and we're using the Wild Wasabi for the full card, Tangerine Tango for the layer, and the Tempting Turquoise from that fabulous glitter DSP that's in the spring catalog. And all of these colors will be retiring at the end of May, so get them now if you love them. So we're using the Cool Treat stamp set and the matching Framelits for this card, and we're going to stamp the ice cream cone from that set, and I'm going to stamp off, so I'm just going to stamp in on the back side, and then I'm going to stamp again to get a paler impression. I'm using ivory cardstock for this just because a cone would be that lighter color. And so I've used that behind there, and then we're going to use the big ice cream. I'm going to stamp off again, so I'll get a paler impression. And then now we're going to do the swirly layer on here, and we're going to stamp that right on top of the other one. This set is a little forgiving if you don't get it perfectly, and I always appreciate that, and I didn't get it perfectly. But anyways, that's my ice cream cone, and when you do the dies for this set, they are slightly smaller than the stamps themselves so that you don't get any white around the edge. And so with that, I'm going to raise my die up to the top a little bit just to get my ice cream a little better situated. There are several dies with this set, including ones where you can get some more texture in your cone, but we've already created the texture with the stamp, so I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to use a little washi tape just to hold these dies right in place so that when I take them over to my machine, I won't get them off center. So I'm just doing like that. And then we have our background paper we made with our Reinker Spritz. I'm going to use two of these little popsicles, and I'm just going to figure out where I want to put them on the designer paper that I've created, just to see. Now see, I could get one there that's just Tangerine and Turquoise, and get one there that's, I think I want to have all three colors in my popsicles, so we'll do that and create just some more color variation there. Get a little more tape here. Washi tape is really fabulous because it doesn't stick super well, so you can use it for temporary adjustments on things. Okay, and then we'll just run those through the Big Shot. Okay, now time to assemble this all together. Taking these out of the Big Shot. Get my die cuts out of here. You can see the ugly back on there, but it won't matter because, of course, the back is not going to show. And we use this watercolor paper. It's a little bit thicker than your standard Whisper White or very vanilla cardstock, but still plenty of, it's still very easy to run through the Big Shot with just one run through, so we didn't have to do any additional there. Okay, and I want to use some dimensionals on this project. I think this tall one here, we're going to use a second. You know what, let's just go a second one on this guy just to make sure. And then on our cone, we're going to use one dimensional. On our ice cream on top of the cone, I want to pop it up more. So I'm going to take one dimensional, remove the backing, and layer another dimensional right on top of it. I also could use those foam adhesive strips that we carry that are about twice as thick as dimensionals. So I could do that as well. Alright, dimensionals there. Here's our piece of white cardstock that we're going to lay these on. These are nice colorful popsicles, so the plain white on the back. They'll really stand out well on that. And I think I'll lay my ice cream cone down first, since he's kind of the unique centerpiece there. All right, we've got our double dimensionals on the top, so our scoop will stand up more. And then, let me see, since this guy has a bite out of him, let me just angle him to the left there. We'll get this guy to the right. Aren't those so fun? I just love that Reinker Spritz. It's super simple, but a lot of color to it. Okay, so now, because I'm going to layer this on the Glimmer paper, we've used that quite a bit lately, and I keep telling you that things do not like to stick to it, or it does not like to stick to things. So we're going to create, it gives us an excuse to create extra dimension on this card, because we need these nice strong dimensionals to adhere to that Glimmer paper. You know, it's textured, so everything's not going to hit the total surface of it, so it makes sense that it wouldn't stick as well. All right, and you see that my hands are still nice and inky from when I did this technique on these popsicles here. You saw this video a week before this, but I'm taping them on the same day. So, all right, now to the inside of our card, we got to stamp our greeting. So this all comes from that Cool Treat stamp set. Happiest birthday. And here's another little saying that goes with it. Let me make sure I don't get it upside down. And you could put part of the saying on the front of the card and part on the inside. But I've just decided on this particular card to put it all on the inside. And I forgot to use my foam behind, and you can see it didn't give me the perfect impression. I'll just do my sprinkles. And I've attached two different stamps to this block to do them at the same time. And I'm just going to stamp a couple of times to get that sort of stamped off look that gives a little bit more dimension to the card. And I'm also twisting them around as I stamp so they don't have exactly the same look each time. All right, so they're not in the same direction. Looks a little more random that way. Okay, and then we will adhere this to the inside of our full card. Get my full card here. I pre-scored these, and when you pre-score, you're breaking through the fibers on that score, so make sure that you don't close in on your score, but open it up fully. It sort of goes against what you would consider to be the correct way, but since those fibers are already broken in that direction, then we're just going to continue that. All right, I'm just having a little trouble with this today. Here we go. I tend to press too hard with this. I'm used to the Snail where you want to press a little bit more firmly. A little glitter on that piece of cardstock there. Okay, we got our layer here, and then I've got my layer of Glimmer paper here. Well, there's our final card. A lot of fun, a lot of bright color, and each popsicle is different because we're using that Reinker Spritz technique. Very fun and simple. A lot of color. These colors are all retiring. This stamp set and these dies are retiring at the end of May. So grab them now if you love them. And go have some fun crafting today.